will be arrested for murder. Carl Kelly is responsible for setting this up, partly to have your husband killed.
This is Marc Despain, a devastated daughter who had just realized the disturbing reality about her father, Carl Kelly. A usual return from work for Michelle quickly spiraled into a day of bloodshed when she encountered a harrowing scene. Her husband, Marc Despain, lay drenched in blood, viciously shot twice in the head and chest.
I couldn't see his face because he was kind of looking this way, but there was blood all behind his back.
As the investigation unfolded, this case took a sudden and startling twist. Detectives' desperate hunt for answers would soon tear apart the facade of a distraught wife and daughter, laying bare Michelle's chilling role in this vicious crime.
I've thrown a huge net. Some of the fish have been caught. Some of the fish are still to be caught.
Michelle and Marc had been together for 15 years, living in Jonesboro, Arkansas with their 2 sons and Michelle's teenage daughter from a previous relationship. To the world, the family appeared to live a happy, luxurious life, but behind closed doors, they concealed dark secrets that would eventually come to light. On August 24th, 2021, Michelle had lunch with Marc before returning to work. A few hours later, when she came home, she discovered the front door unlocked. As she entered the kitchen, she was met with a horrific sight. Marc's lifeless body lay on the kitchen floor, and the house was in disarray with drawers yanked open and broken glass all over the floor, prompting her to call 911.
He's scared. I don't know if there's still anybody in my house. Please hurry.
As the investigation unfolded, detectives first suspected a burglary gone wrong. However, as they delved deeper, they found the valuable things were left untouched, ruling out burglary. To understand the gruesome incident, detectives bring Michelle in for questioning. However, her revelations only made the plot even more disturbing.
I didn't know how Mark was. I didn't know his personality. I didn't know, can you think of anybody anyone that he could have pissed off or that was mad at him or
For 3 years we've been looked over our shoulder and scared of his dad. But I hate to think that his dad would do anything like that because it is his son, but he's just very, very cold-hearted and independent and made very, very bad threats to us 3 years ago. And I believe that.
Back in 2008 and stuff.
And I believe that my mother-in-law only went back because she was scared for our safety and her own safety. And we have a lot of rental property with them that is going really bad, foreclosing on, and all kinds of things right now. And that's recently gotten worse, but he has not contacted us and made any threats, recently or anything.
How long has it been since, and I understand it's been a very strange situation, how long has it been since there's been any contact where he was, or her, either one, were actually physically able to come into y'all's house, enjoy time with you? Is that before any of are we talking 2008?
2008.
Okay. So we're talking at least 3 years that there has been. And I suppose that Mark, and again, I'm having to ask questions because like I said, I personally don't know your husband. I'm supposing that Mark would not have anything to do with him.
He wouldn't, and that's, you say not knowing the person that Mark is. I had our daughter when we got married. She was 1. And
That's not his daughter, right?
not biologically, but he has adopted her.
Okay. What is her father's name?
His name's Jason Reese. And in 2008, when all of this happened and inappropriate things happened with his dad and Brooke, Mark, he just immediately stood up for Brooke and stood up for me. And we offered his dad help initially, we want to help you have a problem. We told him we're going to take Brooke to counseling tomorrow. Then we will be mandated to report it to the authorities. We tried to do everything. He tried to do everything to help his dad, and his dad didn't think he did anything wrong. And so, it just would have been really easy for him to not turn his back on his family for a daughter that's not biologically his. But no, he did. He stood up for her and believed her and supported her and protected us. He honestly thought he was protecting us by keeping us away from his dad.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's just the kind of person he was. It would have been really easy after any period of time to go back to his family. We tried to help his mom, and she left for a little while and lived with us because she believed that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like I said, he was making threats to burn our house down and different things, and I think she was scared. And so she went back, and we told her at that time, too, that there's no way we could have a relationship with her if she was with him.
Sure. How would Mark do?
Toward me? Good. He's good to me.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Everybody has arguments.
Sure,
perfect.
Yeah. You can't live with somebody 24/7 and not.
And all the financial stress has, put tension at home. But no, that's just normal. Three kids and finances and...
Within just a few minutes of the interrogation, Michelle blames his father-in-law, Jackson, for this tragic act. Her statement reveals the dark reality of their relationship. Her resentment towards him stemmed from a disturbing act that shook the family to its core. Michelle's daughter had previously accused Jackson of taking her inappropriate photos, which he adamantly denied. However, as the matter was investigated, it was discovered that she had taken those pictures herself to share with her boyfriend, ultimately leading to Jackson being cleared of those false allegations. But by then, the damage was already done. Michelle and Mark still chose to support their daughter and decided to part ways with their family. As the investigation leans in for further details, Michelle is unaware that it will unravel this entire case.
I'm trying to get into his frame of mind, his stress level, anything within the past few days to where he's been in a big argument with you or anything like that, or anything to where somebody, I don't know, you tell me, I don't know his people that were around him or somebody that,
There was nothing major. A guy did text me the other night, and he was, what night was that? Sunday night. It was this guy from Truman that had texted me, and he found that, but it was nothing, nothing major on the text or anything, but it made him think that I was talking to that guy. And he saw it all, and we talked about it all. We didn't have a big fight about it.
Sunday night.
I don't remember what night that was, because we had already, we'd already talked about this, and it wasn't like a huge fight or anything.
Okay, so he was not having any type of affair or going out with anybody?
That I know of.
And you weren't?
He was, that would happen I don't know what year, maybe 2002 or 2003, he did.
He had an affair?
And I talked to someone in 2008, but it's not major stuff.
So he had a bear on you, or I hate saying a bear, but it's there.
I really don't think that he was
Okay.
or anything.
Okay.
And his dad, that text this morning, I mean, and I don't want to be cold-hearted, and I'm not going to not let them around at all, but they
Right.
don't have any, you just have to think, I mean, in my shoes, they would not show up on our street or our doorstep for the last 3 years,
Yes, ma'am.
but they did yesterday.
Right.
There's nothing they can do now, you know? I mean, there's nothing. And she sent me, that text this morning, wanting to know.
She or he?
I think the first one came from her. So when she texted me that this morning, she said, "Are you and the kids okay? And I hope we can set our differences aside and do this, And I said, we're surrounded by people that we love. Everything will be taken care of. Y'all need to lean on each other and support each other. And there will be, I'll let you know about arrangements for y'all, And then he got on there and he said, "This is Jack." And he sent this horrible text telling me that well, you saw it or you'll see it, that I'm horrible, calling me names, and said that he thinks that I had something to do with it because I'll get life insurance and he's going to sue me. So I don't know what he's going to sue me for unless he wants. I mean, I don't know what he wants. I don't know.
I'll just tell you honestly, with things with me and everything, it's brought to my attention that y'all may have had an argument.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been, I guess, Sunday night.
Whatever night that guy texted, and that was the first time that it really was something so completely innocent.
Yes, ma'am.
But I know from Mark's side, it wasn't innocent. It hurt his feelings naturally. And, because the guy said, that I was pretty and smart and this and that.
Sure.
And I said, well, that's sad that a husband of 15 years can't see that. And that really hurt Mark's feelings, that I had belittled him to another man. And I totally understand that. And that really, it wasn't a big deal to me because I knew that was the only time I had talked to this man. And,
But it was
a big deal to Mark.
Was he highly pissed off at Michelle that night?
He was really mad about that. But,
yelling and screaming or anything?
No, he's really good about not yelling and screaming. I mean, he does raise his voice a lot when he doesn't mean to. His normal voice, people think he's screaming, and I tell him all the time, "Honey, people think you're screaming at them. You have to lower your voice." But usually in stressful situations like that, he's really calm and doesn't really scream.
As I said to anybody, and I guess your dad has worked for y'all for a long period of time. Their relationship?
They have a really good relationship. He has a really good relationship with both of my parents. My mom and dad are not married.
Oh, they're not? Okay.
But he has a really good relationship with both of them.
Never got into it with your dad or anything like that? No hard feelings? No,
because they all know what a good dad and good husband, and they tell him that. And my mom tries to love on him extra because he didn't have his family anymore, But no hard feelings with any of my family at all.
Despite understanding the gravity of the situation, Michelle appears composed. She constantly portrays herself as a victim of circumstance. As she informs the detective about the insurance money, she unknowingly provides a crucial clue, hinting at a hidden motive behind this horrific crime. Though Michelle denies any affair, detectives soon uncover a different story. The findings convince them that she is concealing something sinister. Meanwhile, the detectives bring Mark's father, Jackson, in for questioning, the man everyone believes to be responsible for the family's rift. But his shocking revelations soon twist the case for the worse.
My suspicion finally gone off nut that he actually done something like that. That's, once again, I'm not trying to point my finger.
Yes, sir, I understand.
That's just a concern.
Right.
I haven't seen him personally, how he did just treat him like a dog. Carl has told me that he was going to kill me personally,
Yes, sir.
but he has also told my son that, you know, he said, I'll just kill you right now. And had a gun pointed right at me. I know he treated her like, pretty much like he treated his father-in-law. Does she have anything to do with it? That's another slight suspicion.
These disturbing details give the detective yet another chilling insight into the dynamics of this seemingly happy family. Jackson insists money fueled their disputes, cementing detectives' view of it as Marc's real murder motive. His statement undoubtedly puts Carl and Michelle in a tight spot. Equipped with crucial information, the detectives decide to bring Carl in for questioning. However, this won't go over smoothly. His revelations are poised to leave them with more questions than answers.
He was told Mark he's the devil, himself. He's the devil's advocate. Told him that more than once. Jack Despain told Mark, he said, I will ruin you and your family. I heard him say that.
Y'all got along well, he treats you fair.
Yeah. I went deer hunting with him and everything else.
Carl deflects the blame back onto Jackson, corroborating Michelle's claim. With different versions stacking up, detectives are on the hunt to find which account holds the actual truth. As the search for the real culprit continues, detectives uncover a pivotal clue that eliminates Jackson as a suspect. They discover that he was at home with his wife at the time of Marc's murder. Now the focus shifts back to Carl and Michelle. Surprisingly, the case finally gets a breakthrough when detectives receive an anonymous tip leading them to Terrence Baker, who had been bragging about Marc's murder. As detectives bring him in for questioning, he adamantly claims no involvement. Despite his denial, detectives have uncovered overwhelming evidence that tells a different and shocking story. Eyewitness descriptions and cell phone records place Terrence in a blue car near Marc's residence on the day he was murdered. Soon, the investigation leads detectives to the car owner, Johnny Hubbard, whose revelation is about to change everything. He confesses that Carl initially told him to murder Marc, but when he refused, he assigned the gruesome task to Terrence. Both Carl and Johnny approached him in a church parking lot, handed him a gun, and offered him $7,000 to $10,000 to carry out the murder. The web finally unravels, leading straight to the conspirators. All these details eventually align with the evidence gathered, leading to Carl, Johnny, and Terrence's arrest. However, detectives are certain that Michelle is concealing the whole truth. They bring her in for another round of questioning and decide to break the news of her father's arrest, a reality she is unlikely to accept easily.
There's been a lot of progress in this case, okay? As far as to the involvement in the murder of your husband, okay? Right now, I have two individuals in custody, okay? I have two people in jail. I have the man that shot your husband, the one that killed him, in jail right now.
You know for sure.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He is in jail, okay? And all the aspects and everything with that. I had the gentleman that drove him down there to the scene and the whole 9 yards. Okay. From this point, I want to make you very aware that, and like I said, working 24/7, we worked hard, round the clock, to get us to this point where we're at. And I'm not done yet by any means, not stopping or anything else. We're going to continue to work extremely hard. At this point, I will also be arresting your father.
My father?
Yes, ma'am. Your father will be arrested for murder. I have all the information, all the evidence I need.
Not Mark's father.
No, ma'am. Your father, Carl Kelly, is responsible for setting this up partly to have your husband killed.
I don't believe that. I had the tenant call me this morning and tell me that. I did not believe it. Thought it was another rumor.
It's not a rumor, Michelle.
There's been rumors already that...
I know. There's been thousands of rumors out there. Okay? That's why it's important, again, for me to rehash. Let's go back to this tragic day, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I have all the evidence I need. I have witnesses. Both of the individuals tell me that they talked to your father. How much he's supposed to pay them. Everything else. The whole 9 yards. I've got your dad's truck in the neighborhood. I've got your dad's truck there. I've got a gentleman that sees your dad's truck parked. They're talking to the murderer that killed your husband in cold blood. And then he sees him at the crime scene later. And then do you see him any more that morning?
Not before lunch.
Not before lunch, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did he just leave from your office there by Cynthia, or he just walked out from there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you ever go downstairs? Did you walk him out or anything? You remember?
Sometimes I walk him out, so I might have.
Okay. Might have
I
walked
don't
him.
know if I did that day, but sometimes I
Okay.
do. Dad did ask me where he was.
When?
Sometime at lunch, Dad, he asked.
He stopped by there, or did he call? Your dad calls you, or your dad texts or calls and asks where Mark's at?
Yeah, but that's not unusual. He would.
What did you respond to your dad? Do you remember?
I mean, I told him where we were eating lunch.
When you go home, which way do you go? How do you travel that route? What's easiest? What's better on you?
I'll go down to Caraway and get on the bypass. And then
Just straight shot, yeah.
Drive.
Straight shot there, okay. And that would be, so you went that way that day, you remember? Pull into the neighborhood, drive down, get to the bottom of the hill, pulling into the driveway. What transpires from there, Michelle?
Then I got out of my car and went in to get I left my car running because it's hot outside.
Did you raise the garage door, or was it open? Okay. Your dad still not called you? You not talked to him since this time or anything else?
Since he called me to...
You get to the back door. You enter inside the residential home. Take me from there.
I was going to get the bills were on the dining room table and some probably on the bench and all that. And when I walked in, there wasn't any lights on. And there was some stuff in the floor, which my house is a mess always anyway. But there was like a lot of stuff on the floor. But it was dark and I really couldn't see. And I thought Mark would be upstairs because all the lights were off. But he doesn't like the $400 electric bills. But then I walked on just to go into the kitchen.
Could you tell what was wrong with him, Michelle?
I went over and pushed his leg and yelled his name, and I could see something in his face. And there was just blood everywhere, so I thought he had been shot.
The moment the detective informs Michelle about her father's arrest, her demeanor drastically changes. Initially, she appeared calm, but now her composure collapses into defeat. This sudden behavioral shift hints at a deeper reason that is about to come to light. Until now, Michelle has been backing up her father. But as she senses that detectives are closing in on the truth, her loyalty wavers. As the detective presses her for further details, she willingly shifts suspicion onto her father, eventually revealing her deceptive tendencies to evade accountability.
Help me here, because I'm trying to figure out here. there's something. There's got to be more than something here, Michelle, because your dad has hired to pay people to kill Mark, your husband. He hired people to kill your husband. He couldn't do that.
Do that to my kids.
If I wasn't in bad shape, I'd kill the mother myself. If I wasn't in such bad health, I'd kill the mother myself. Or I'll pay somebody to do it. Those are words out of your dad's mouth.
When?
On several different occasions.
To who? Who did he say that to?
You know where the money was coming from? To be paid. Insurance money. Looking at all aspects of it. And it was wide open. Like I told you before, I've thrown a huge net. That net has gotten really close. And it's to the point to where some of the fish have been caught. Some of the fish are still to be caught. Anything at all that you need to get off your chest of me, Michelle?
Just that I was seeing a guy, but my dad didn't know that. Mark didn't. Nobody knew that. Nobody knew that.
Who was you seeing?
Just this young kid that wasn't anything. Nobody knew it.
Is this the same guy that you was talking about that texted you?
Mm-mm.
Different
That
guy?
guy, that really was a random thing for that guy to text me that night. Or to talk to that guy that night. I never talked to him.
You have an intimate relationship with this guy?
Mm-hmm. The young one? Not the one that texts me.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. But you already have an intimate relationship with this other man?
I was.
You was? When did that stop?
Last week.
Last week. So where would your father get any money at? Have you given your father any money at all?
He could have kept keeping rent money. Not $7 to $10.
Well, y'all hadn't, Mark hadn't come up, he wasn't griping about him stealing any money from y'all, had he?
He had, over the course of the last year, Mark has wondered that.
Did you ever confront him about it or anything? If they ever had any conversations on it?
I don't think he confronted him about it.
Yeah. It's pretty clear to me, it's pretty clear that, there was some very strong feelings as to why this was to take place.
Money. He's greedy.
Money?
He's greedy and lazy.
So did Mark ask you for a divorce recently?
He didn't ask me
What did he tell you?
that. He didn't know. That he didn't know we would stay.
But he never asked you, or he informed you that he was going to get a divorce. Michelle, I'm going to ask you, and I don't know how else to ask you, but just straight out, did you have anything to do with the murder of your husband?
No, sir. No, it's not one to.
Because, I'll be straightforward and honest with you. The implications are, and everything else that's been gathered, this money's supposed to have been coming from you.
I would not have had $7,000 to $10,000 to give him.
And I've been given that much. I've been given $2,000. Your dad's under arrest right now, and he will be charged for first-degree murder. And that does not conclude my investigation. It's not going to stop there, Michelle.
What do you mean?
I'm not done until I get everything taken care of, until I close this case out, okay?
Sure.
Despite Michelle's attempts to conceal her actions and save herself, forensic evidence revealed shocking call and text records. It included deleted text messages from both Michelle's and Carl's phones that confirm her coordination in the conspiracy and eventually expose their involvement. Detectives conclude Michelle plotted the murder with her father, driven by financial desperation to fund her lavish life amid mounting debts from fraud. Initially, Michelle Despain was charged with capital murder. However, in 2014, she entered a plea deal, pleading guilty to 3 counts of hindering the apprehension and prosecution of capital murder. On September 17, 2014, she was sentenced to 30 years in prison with the possibility of parole after 5. Carl Kelly was found guilty of first-degree murder and was sentenced to 35 years in prison. However, he later died in prison of congestive heart failure. Johnny Hubbard pleaded guilty to hindering apprehension and was sentenced to 18 years in prison with an additional 20 years for a probation violation. Terrence Barker also pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and received a 35-year sentence.